Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Weird World Podcast. My name's Carrie.
I'm Dean.
Hi, Dean.
Hi, have you ever been to South Africa?
No, never. Not once.
Have you ever been to Pietermaritzburg, South Africa?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was going to go one more, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever been
okay.
to Howick Falls in South Africa? Near
No.
Pietermaritzburg.
No.
It's in the Durban area of South Africa, eastern South Africa. Well, there's an amazing thing in a pool at the bottom of the Howick Falls in South Africa.
I think I know where this is going.
Do you?
I mean, not specifically as
Well,
a general topic area for Dean.
I don't know if we've covered, but this, listeners, is a quick, cryptid corner. All case, it's interesting legend that may or may not have some basis in fact. It has some, aggrandizement to it, but still, there may be a kernel of truth there. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
According to Zulu and Xhosa tradition, there's a creature that lives in the pool that's called the Inkanyamba. Inkanyamba. It's huge. It's kind of eel-like or snake-like, so it has the body of a giant snake, maybe a giant eel, but it has the head that's much more like a horse.
Oh, sure. Okay, this is plausible.
Horse-like. Remember, the original stories of Loch Ness Monster are often described, and creatures like that are often described as having kind of a horse-like head. It has fins. Some people say they're bladed fins. Its scales of this creature, if indeed it has scales, are kind of shimmering and iridescent. So it creates quite the amazing sight. And of course, it's big. How big do you think it is? I'm going to ask you.
I'm going to go 20 feet long.
Okay. Some legends say something like 20 feet long.
Okay.
Others say big enough to reach the clouds above the sky. Okay. So you see there's a large range to its supposed size.
Yes.
As you can tell.
So that's just like legend, story.
Just hold on.
Fables.
Maybe, maybe not. The Howick Falls, by the way, are called by the locals, I'm going to mess it up, Kwanagkaza, which means the place of the tall one. So this baby's tall.
There you go, yeah.
Okay. So whether it's just a massive snake or an eel or some kind of supernatural creature, it's not clear. It doesn't just live there. It has been reported in other areas. It lives in lakes and waterfalls. And so because of this, some people think, no, maybe it's not a snake. Even though it's said to be a snake, said to be a snake-like creature, they think, oh, maybe it's an eel. There are freshwater water eels in southern Africa and Central Africa.
Why are eels tend to be bigger or something?
No, but snakes don't usually live in water. There are water snakes, but they're oceanic.
Oh,
really,
okay.
I don't know if there are any freshwater,
Really?
water snakes who, I mean, like the anacondas, things like that in the Amazon live in, and so do a lot of snakes but this is said to sort of live in water.
Okay.
And breathe water, I think.
Okay.
According to the legend. The legends apparently date all the way back to ancient Aboriginal cave paintings that are found in the area, and they depict creatures that have come to be called rain animals. And archaeologists call them rain animals because they are associated with the worst of the summer storms.
Oh, okay.
So some people associate the creature, the Inkanyamba, as being able to bring down horrific rains and vicious sudden summer storms and cause flooding and things like that if you piss them off.
Oh.
So my advice is don't piss them off.
Yeah.
It's said that they're most active during the summer months. I imagine that's when you have, the most storms, I guess, right?
Sure.
And so they do. It's said that if you piss them off, you can bring down storms on your village or something like that. And it's also said that specific to this pool at the bottom of the falls, the Howick Falls, can only be approached by like native healers who have sort of special dispensation, I guess, to go and kind of venerate the Inkanyamba. Make sense?
Sure.
So some people try to think, okay, so what could be there? Is it some kind of an eel or something like that? And we'll get back to it in a minute, but there are a couple of pretty good sized eels. One source I read said they can get about 6 feet tall. That 6 feet can so easily become 20.
Yeah.
So maybe there's some kind of an eel, and they're seen more in the summer, more active in the summer. I don't know, something like that. So they've been associated with heavy summer rainfall, something like that.
And the horse head is just an embellishment.
Maybe.
People needed to make it sound
perhaps
crazier.
Which would also be the belated fins, if indeed they have something like that. But it has become kind of a story lately, or relatively recently. Back in 1998, the folks living in a town called Ingwavuma, and I'm sorry, there's a region, and also the Pongola regions. This is in the KwaZulu-Natal area of South Africa. They specifically blamed the Inkanyamba for causing these really, really nasty summer storms that caused thousands of homes to be lost.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have been associated, up modern times, they're being associated with bad summer seasons, really wet summer months.
Not global warming.
No, it's not. In fact, one of the sources said, so much for global warming. Or not where's the effect, but no, maybe it's not global warming. Maybe it's the Inkanyamba.
Uh-huh.
And some people even say they can fly, or they can cause tornadoes, and they can or fly like a tornado. It's hard to pin down.
They are the tornado?
They might be the tornado. So it's also thought that maybe they migrate, maybe they move around because they've been seen in the Umgeni River. I'm sure you're familiar with that. It's about 44 miles from Howick Falls, south of Howick Falls. So that's a good distance. They've been seen in like some dams and places like that. So they appear to, if there is multiple creatures like this, they appear to enjoy sort of settled areas, but settled water, like ponds within a river, like the Howick Falls. The pond is part of the Umgeni River. It falls over 310 feet, by the way. It's a huge waterfall. It's gorgeous. I'll show you a picture of it here, and we'll put a picture up on our post. So it's they live in like the dammed areas, the slower water, in an area of the dam, such as the Midmar Dam, which I'm sure you're familiar with as well.
Sure.
It carried the area around there. It covers approximately 500 square miles, as I just read just now. So it's even said that people have reported seeing these horrific battles between two Inkanyamba.
Well, that would be super interesting to watch.
That would be I need to see that. A death match with Inkanyamba in the water, but somehow we got to see him. So maybe it could be like in an aquarium. Mm-hmm. Let's get some Inkanyamba, get him in an aquarium, and make a fight. That seems mean to you?
Yes.
Okay. In 1996, a local newspaper in South Africa said, "Okay, everybody, prove the Inkanyamba exist. Show us your photographs." Naturally, they got a shit ton of photographs, two of which...
Some creative photography going on there.
I'll show you one. It's phenomenal. Two of which were printed, but everybody said, yeah, no, that's for sure a hoax. I'll show you one of them right now. I'm showing Carrie the picture. I don't know if you can see that right there. That's the Howick Falls in the background. We'll put this up, folks. But you see a waterfall in the background. In the foreground, you see... very much, it looks like the surgeon's photograph of Loch Ness Monster, like the front, the neck. It looks a lot looks pretty much like a plesiosaur neck.
Is it what's going across the falls?
Exactly. So either it's in the foreground or it's 300 feet. I don't know. I can possibly, you literally just see this bisected falls coming down in the background. We know those falls are 310 feet, but we have no idea how close. It looks like the back of someone's head looking up at it. So it's between that person and the waterfall.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, is it 400 feet? 25 feet?
Yeah.
Certainly be big because it's bigger than the person.
Yeah.
And it's further from the camera than the person. So this is a huge creature. It's basically a silhouette of a plesiosaur or a Loch Ness Monster picture. And it was not well received. There's others too. I'll show you in a minute here the picture of in fact, I'll show you right now. It was a picture of it's actually a video of, I can't remember if it's on TikTok or if it's on YouTube. I don't remember, but it's basically, it looks much more like a dragon. Do you see it?
Yeah.
So it's more, it has like claws, and the video just kind of it goes really close. It doesn't go back enough to see the full creature, but it's not that big. It might be 6 or 7 feet long at best, but it has the tail. It shows the tail in close up.
Yeah.
It shows these claws. It shows a very much a dragon-like fanged snout and a dragon-like head and face, and maybe some reptilic wings back there, but it basically looks like a dragon. It's undoubtedly it's a model, and I mean, it's nothing but close up pictures of this thing on some sandy area, that it's not the Inkanyamba. Doesn't look like the Inkanyamba. It's not dragon. Doesn't have hands. It's a snake. Come on, do your research, fake person who's making that fake model. Damn it. So in 1996, though, when that photographs that brought the story to the attention of the local. It caused a lot. Again, 2 years later, it was blamed for a lot of storms. In 1997, so the year before the storms, the year after the pictures were printed, in a region nearby Howick, is along the Mitzintalava River. There was a huge controversy raging in the area because people were seeing this huge aquatic-looking thing. They thought maybe it was an Inkanyamba. When they took a closer look, they realized that was not an Inkanyamba. They were actually being attacked, and the villages were under siege by this giant crocodile-like creature.
Oh.
It has a long neck, and it has a huge skull that can pierce bone, and a huge, snout that can pierce bone. And it was called the African brain sucker, or in the native language, called the Mamlambo. That's right, listeners. You just got a bonus cryptid. You're welcome. We brought you the Mamlambo. That's all I'm going to talk about, the Mamlambo. I know nothing of it except for this report, but apparently it's a giant brain-eating crocodile-like creature. Huh. Not a crocodile, but which crocodile live all over the area.
Yeah.
But a Mamlambo. My favorite story was about this. When I was doing the research, was from one website. I won't name the website. It'll be in our sources. Guess which one? And it was describing the Inkanyamba, how they're all the descriptions are the same. It's kind of the cut and paste thing that you see in a lot of these things on the internet. The Howick Falls, It's if you make it angry, it's going to cause violent storms and even tornadoes and thunder that shakes the bones. Quote, here's my favorite quote. And if you think it's just a tale told to spook the kiddos, think again. Local legend insists that looking into his eyes can kill you. End quote. Now,
scary.
Did you notice the logic behind that statement? So, first of all, stop saying the word kiddos. It's annoying. Secondly, so you imply that an outrageous claim is true by adding a second, even more outrageous claim. That's your logic of saying that's true. So, hey, the earth is flat. What? You want proof of that? Well, the moon is made from cheese. Face. End of story. So, that was my favorite description of the Inkanyamba. But so there are legends that it could be an eel. And so I looked up, did a little bit of research, and actually it turns out there are a couple of eels that are pretty good size in the area. One of them is, and they're both of the same, genus, Anguilla marmora. It is also called the marbled eel or the mottled eel, and it lives in the area. Okay. It's a freshwater eel. It gets up to 70 centimeters. That's about 2 1/3 feet.
Big, yeah.
Not quite. But its cousin, the Anguilla mosambica, are also sometimes called the African long-finned eel. Interesting. Fins, right?
Yeah.
It can get up to, no, not 6 feet like that one source said. It can get maybe to about 150 centimeters, which is actually a little shy of 5 feet. So at best, you have a 5-foot eel that has been mistaken for a 20-foot snake-like creature with a head of a horse that can cause massive storms and can kill you with a look.
Yeah.
Or drive you insane with a look. It's stories differ. So that's a stretch. Could it be a species maybe related to these eels that grows to, 15, 20 feet?
Yeah, I think they
probably
know.
not. These are actually, again, these are like lakes.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure they'd probably be discovered by now and categorized. So I don't know. I'm still going to hold out hope. I give it 90-10 that it does exist. That's a 20-foot eel that can cause storms. Your
90-10 that it does?
That it does, yeah. I'm gonna say in favor of it.
And
it causes storms by, I'm gonna say magic.
I'm gonna go with 0.5.
See, my anchored point of 90% still got you to say 0.5 that it might exist. So I think my work here is done, because for sure you would have said 0 otherwise.
I can't rule out.
Okay. I mean, who knows? Anything. There could be a really big eel out there, or it could be some parts of our specific specimens of this eel that gets 7, 8, 9 feet. Who knows? Probably not, but who knows?
Yeah.
And it does. But in terms of the, storms and stuff like that. It sounds a little bit to me like the Thunderbird, which again, we still haven't done it because it's not that interesting at the end of the day. But the Thunderbird is supposedly the giant in the Americas here, especially in the Southwest United States. This huge bird, vulture-like bird that get, a wingspan of whatever, 40 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet, something. Okay, it's a surviving pteranodon or something like that, or a quetzalcoatl, which, by the way, weren't that large. Or even if you say 20 or 30 feet, there were actually very few flying reptiles that got that kind of a size. They were extremely rare. They mostly were much smaller than that. And of course, they wouldn't survive for 70 million years or something like that. Yeah. That's kind of silly. And only be seen occasionally by people without cameras. So but if you, and it's always said that, oh, well, it's an ancient legend. It's a Native American legend and things like that. No, it's not. The legend was clearly mythical and about the bringing of rain and storm fronts and things like that. It wasn't ever meant to be thought of as an actual creature. I suspect this is something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's a myth about storms, things like, and this is the creature that causes these storms, just a myth. Or maybe it's even something like the Kelpie, where it's intended to, hey, kids,
be a warning.
Stay away from those pools and things like that where there's running water or something like that because you drown, or there's a crocodile in there or whatever. So it's probably something like that, an intentional myth. But I'm still going 90% it exists.
But you would think South African people would know.
Know what?
About native myths.
Well, sure, they do. But of course, people these days like to believe native myths are describing real things. Yeah, that's all the rage, Carrie. it's what we do now because of YouTube and stupidity. So that is the story of the Inkanyamba.
Thanks.
The giant horse-headed serpent, bringer of storms, kill you with its eyes creature of South Africa.
With mermaid scales.
Which Carrie admits there's a chance it exists.
Incredibly slight.
Thank you for listening to this latest episode of Quick Cryptid Corner. I said that very slowly because otherwise I'll mess it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.